had a tornado warning from 11:30 this morning until we got out of school. So I sat in the auditorium with my kids for the whole day. And it wasn't a bad day, but
hey, bro, I hate them days when you sit in the auditorium. Boy, it be hot in there too.
Man,
all them
it
kids.
wasn't the best day.
Oof. Smell like feet in that bad boy. All right. Let's get it. So, boom. Be Like Podcast mission statement. We the #1 mentorship for mindset development, career ascension, education, and leadership cultivation. Our DNA is we authentic, positive. We respect all sex, race, religion, political views, and preference. But I kind of want to change something. I don't know if y'all okay with this, but I don't want to say that we for all people because we really not. We for who we for. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's that. You know what I'm saying? We ain't said that yet. But then, great sense of humor. We funny, like to have a good time. We go ahead and take that off. Definitely not for all people.
What if we wasn't okay with that and you said it on live? Now we just got to be okay with
it. Knowing you brothers, I'm pretty sure y'all wanted me to take that off before I did. I think that we've been talked about that. Y'all wanted me to take that off, but man, I'm gonna put the link here, and we can get this thing rocking and rolling. Dre, you didn't have to body slam nobody, huh?
Body slam for who? What?
Just talking about at the J.
Nah, I'm just tired. I went from work to working out to try this stuff. So, I always try to eat before I come over here, so yeah. I got something in my stomach this time. Sometimes I'll be like, yo.
Delicious Creations?
Nah, it was a TV dinner. But it's all good, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm hungry, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a brownie and everything, so I'm good.
But I'm gonna put them here. We're gonna drop this off.
Nah, ain't nobody slamming, man. We good. Got a couple laughs at the Cowboys, but I told you I laughed with them. So.
Ass to the Cowboys. Ass to the Cowboys.
A lot of people say how bad the Cowboys suck, and if you look at the win percentage over like the last 5-6 years, we like 6th, 7th.
Y'all just lose at the time where you don't want to lose. That's
a lot of teams do. Like a lot of people praise the Bills right now, and they're like, we are the Bills too. Like
the Bills just got good though.
But I'm saying, like, people still say how great the Bills are, but we basically in the same class as the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills went to the Super Bowl and win that one of them.
All years in a row. That's gotta be
y'all making excuses right now.
No, that's the truth. Like we're in the same class.
Here, you have the #1 pick.
I feel like what you say, Dave? What you say?
#1 pick, Chicago Bears.
Oh my gosh! I don't make excuses. I say what it is. I'm not making no excuses.
Yeah, we're saying what it is. If you look at the win percentage football,
oh my gosh, y'all started coming with all these excuses. Well, you know, in reality, there's 3 other teams that's doing the same thing we doing. If you really look at it, like, bro, it's all the same. We all fishing.
Kerry, you don't even watch football anymore because they're so bad. You don't even watch football anymore.
Hey, welcome back to the Be Like Podcast, baby. It's your boy K Slow here with the homies.
Jay Jones. You just changed that subject too quick for me, but Jay Jones.
We got the brain here.
Space City. H-Time.
And then you got the wise, the wild, the wisdom. Mr. Lipton go.
Me. Right?
What you say?
That's me.
Oh my God.
Hey,
it's you.
You don't know your own name?
What are you gonna do when they call up the deacon to the stage? And this is what you do in church?
No, he was serious up there. He was in that pulpit looking like he was tightened up. I ain't seen none of the side. He didn't blow no bubbles at nobody. He didn't stick his tongue out.
That make it a little bit more real.
Man, we need the deacon to come out on the podcast today. We need the deacon to come out on the podcast today. I need that energy. Real talk. But
real talk.
Real talk. But hey, man, what's good? I got a good little cap and no cap for y'all.
Let's start it right there.
Ready for this?
I'm wearing a Dak Prescott jersey, so that's how I feel right now.
All right. So the Cowboys will not win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. Cap or no cap?
No cap.
What's up? Look at Terrell's face.
I don't know how to answer. Like it's hard to answer because you don't know who's gonna beat. I don't know. If we
You
go
really
next
can't
year,
say that,
heck
though.
no.
You really don't know. Because if you would have told me this year
what
the
if we
Eagles were
trade
going to be this good and contending for a Super Bowl, I would have told you straight cap. Like, it can change really quickly, bro.
Yeah. Like the Bengals were the Bengals 3-4 years ago. Look at them now. So I don't know. I mean, if you say next year, no, in the next 5 years, I would say
Burrow has been in the league how many years? And he is the leading leader in team history. And he's on his 3rd year.
Yeah.
No cap.
No cap.
Just because the history, I'm gonna go no cap. They probably ain't gonna win in the next 5 years.
No cap.
No cap. What you think, DeMarcus?
I don't care. No cap, I guess.
Cap or no cap, the Chicago Bears win 6 games next year.
Cap. We win a 9.
Cap, y'all might win 4.
That's crazy. You know what I walked on? I walked in on a conversation about Deion Sanders and Colorado's wins next year. And these kids were so convinced they win in 9 games next year.
That's because that's what he started with. He said, "Don't come here thinking that we want to grow. We finna win now."
We coming.
He said, "We coming to win now.
possible.
We're not waiting." He said, "He's not waiting on nobody to get good." No, he said, "He's not waiting."
And when he
If
survived
Shador
that,
is as good as I think he is, I think that's very, very possible.
9?
I think 9. It's one. They play in the Pac-12.
Exactly.
They won't beat Oregon. They won't beat SC. They won't beat Oregon State.
And they won't be Utah.
I don't know
And they
about
won't beat Utah.
Oregon, Utah,
Oregon.
and USC.
Oregon
I'm
State
giving
went
those 3. You can still go and get 9 wins.
They about to get stomped on.
Thank
They
you.
gonna get beat down, bro. Let's be real. It's the trenches, bro. How many guys in the trenches do they have that's gonna change the game like that? Like that's what we really need to look at. All these DBs and these receivers and all that, that's cool.
Thank
But
you.
once that running start happening, they start handing that football off. Who gonna stop that run? Who gonna pound the rock? That's what it's gonna come down to. I'm
But
just like,
how hard are these kids gonna play for prime at the same time, too?
they're gonna be competitive.
Even if they don't win the full 9, I think they're gonna be very competitive. I don't think they're gonna be out there getting blown out.
No, they probably gonna get smoked by too many teams, but they're gonna get smoked though.
TCU's first.
If Utah and USC and Oregon smoke them, they supposed to.
Yeah, they're gonna smoke them. It's still Colorado, even though Deion is there, which is gonna make it amazing. It's gonna be a show. It's gonna be a movie, but it's gonna be
a horror movie sometime.
it's gonna get scary out there. It's gonna get scary out there.
Hey, anybody seen the movie he made or whatever he made, the little documentary he made for Jackson State?
I had to watch the shit, but my pop said it was pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
I think Deion's an excellent example, bro, of using his platform, man, just to create that just esoteric figure that he is now for football. Like,
yeah, he stayed 9 toes down.
Chill out.
He like a folktale now. He got 9. He really do got 9 toes, right? He cut one of the bad boys off. That's crazy. Anyway, but speaking on Deion, and you know, we could talk about it. Bethune-Cookman trying to ride that coattail of the whole Ed Reed situation. Y'all want to introduce that to the people, talk a little bit about that, and then we can kind of shed some light.
Let's keep it simple on the Ed Reed part of it, because I don't even, like you said, I don't want to put too much on him with it all. But to me, that shines a bigger light on. So with that whole situation, Ed was supposed to be the head coach there, ended up not getting the contract. If y'all saw, he was on social media last week talking about how when he arrived, there's trash in his office, things are unsettled, not prepared for a head coach that's coming to take a job. And because we're talking about Ed Reed, a prestigious name in football, coming to take this job, you would think things are a little bit better presented. At least I would think. They weren't. But we get all of that. I think the bigger point there is, and we, like you said earlier, we kind of touched on this before. what does it take for us to see Black universities reach that next level of whether we want to call it excellence, success, whatever it is. But even in this case, it looks like competency, bro. Because one of the main things, I didn't see it until today, but you have the players talking about how their equipment gets stored in places where it gets wet and there's mold all on their equipment. You have the student body who's been, I didn't know this was going on either. For a couple of years, supposedly these kids have been protesting about some of the issues at Bethune-Cookman, from poor living conditions to crime in the area or crime on campus, a lot of different things. So without beating up on one program or putting too much on Ed Reed, my question is the same as it's been. What do we do to actually see these things improve? Where do we get the next step for Black universities? Because we talk a lot about Black excellence, right? I hear that thrown around in the community all the time. It's Black excellence this, it's Black that. But where's the work to actually get to that?
I want to add to this conversation real quick. I just not thought about this now, Nate. Is culture drives a lot of what you see in regards to consistency within institutions, right? So it's like you got a culture that works a certain way, you kind of get what you always gotten, especially when it comes to like school. Like school is very culture driven. So like I think about like when I was at Cisco, when I was out of Cisco, in the way that, our stuff was, I mean, it wasn't a terrible situation, but it wasn't great. A little bit of, it was a little rough living JUCO. I don't know if y'all, anybody on here been JUCO at all? Like y'all?
No.
Didn't go, but I've been to when I seen it.
Right, you probably at least visited, you know what I'm saying? And you be there and, you go to the dorms, you might have roaches going through the showers and whatnot, but you knew that when you go to a school like that, sometimes you take, L's in, this area, but to get on the field to produce and get a chance to play and get to be in school, et cetera, et cetera. But now, like you saying, now it's like, what can we do to make these things better, right? Like, well, so we ain't got to keep saying like, now you got NFL Hall of Famer Ed Reed, who's about to come take over your program, and now he's saying that it's trash in my office. The situation is crazy. And I think it's a terrible situation. Why would y'all bring me in here? Y'all didn't prepare it for me. And I'm thinking in my head, like, man, like it's based on what we idolizing and lionizing and what we make it important for us. I feel like we got to start looking at it differently in regards to what's important at these schools. I don't know if that is the only answer, but I think that's another one. It's like looking at just like, the people that's, in the industries producing and going out and creating these businesses that's, really adding impact from these universities. Like we talked about before, they gotta be able to kind of give back and pour in and want to, because money's driving everything. I mean, it's not, I mean, that's what it all is. We talked about it before. It's about money, it's about resources. And I think it comes from idolizing and lionizing the right people, doing the right things, virtues, morals, ethics. You know what I'm saying? That's not what's getting applauded in these situations all the time. It's like
that's so true. I think, Gerald says it one way, I say it another way. I always say everybody want to be a boss and nobody want to do the work. And Gerald say, enjoy the process. But like you said, that's not the message that's being put out there, because nobody want to do the work. Nobody want to enjoy the process. Everybody want instant gratification and want it to happen overnight. And to be honest, we're liars. Because get on Instagram, get on Facebook, social media, whatever. Everybody talks a good game. And nobody has shown us they put in the work. So we're liars. We're liars to ourselves. We're liars to our community. Everybody talk good about the community, but I mean, we just gonna understand be a light, but we got to be real too. Most people want to get to a platform where they can leave and enjoy the fruits of another community. I don't want to come back and build up our community. I mean, to be honest, we're liars. We really are. Like, I was a part of a community upgrade program that ended up being taken over by money and business, and they ain't done nothing for the community. The community still look the same. In fact, they knocked down half of the community and put stores over there so they can make money off of it. So we liars, man. We're lying to ourselves.
Yeah. Like you said, like people on social media, when we were all mad at Dion, not us, but people, but nobody's doing half the things he did. So how can I be mad when he actually put in some work and I ain't put in no work? Dion was at least frontline for 4 years, and we mad at him, but we talking about how we need to do better for HBCUs. But like DeMarcus just said, I mean, when I go out, I buy UT stuff. I buy, you know what I'm saying? I support a school I didn't even go to. I don't support HBCUs. So, and we don't support Black business. We're the one culture, we always talk about this, that don't support each other. So I don't know why we would think that we're going to support the HBCU movement and we don't even support each other 99, I can't say that high percent of the time, but a lot of percent of the time. So what can we change? Like y'all said, we need to change something where we need to unify and do what we can for our schools, you know? So.
And I
leadership.
think
Leadership, bro. Because I forget the man's name, but I saw him talking about it today too. I believe he was like the president of the school or some higher up administrator at the school. And you got kids who are saying, we have moldy conditions. We get our equipment covered in mold and all of this stuff, and we have to try to clean it up ourselves. And instead of actually addressing that in a way that means something, this dude said, well, it's mildew. It's not really mold. That's the leader that you put out here to talk. That's who represents you. So
what put that, and I don't mean to cut you, bro, but what puts the spotlight on those situations though? Like why do we even know about Bethune-Cookman now?
Because of Aries, man.
Right. So it's almost like it takes the fame of these people that we know to show up somewhere to bring light to situations. Because if you look at it and you look at NAIAs as a whole, I'm assuming that probably 70% look a lot like that, probably worse. And I'm just saying, and some of those are HBCUs too. And some of those HBCUs.
Do you think it's poor facilities or facilities that are not cared about at all? Because it's one thing to say you ain't got the money to build something super nice. I'm not tripping on that. I understand these schools don't have the money, but how you care for something ain't got nothing to do with the money.
I think that I agree with you saying. I think for sure, but I do think that it takes that fame. It takes attention. It takes the ones that end up, like I said before, that get put on the pedestals. You know what I'm saying? The ones that get all the money, that get the fame, that get the attention. They got to come back. It ain't just us. Like we could talk on this call all day and talk about how we can support, but we can't do nothing like they can do it at this moment. Just being real, like we don't have that type of impact because it's like putting pennies in versus, all right, look, I'm gonna drop this bag on you. I'm gonna bring this attention to y'all because now attention is a new currency. So I'm gonna bring this attention to y'all, which is gonna bring this money. Because I guarantee you, bro, Bethune-Cookman after this, they're not operating the same way, bro. You want people know now. So now you're gonna have to do something different. You lost Ed Reed because of it. So now you gotta do something different. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that's what it almost seems like it takes. It takes more of that like shifting of the culture's focus on what we're gonna lionize and idolize. That's what I feel like to me.
I don't think it takes somebody big and powerful.
What's
like I said, we liars. Because if we really put it back in on ourselves, I mean, I don't know if the statistic is true this year, but I know a couple of years ago they said the Black community spends over $1 trillion a year.
But that's not gonna change. That's not gonna change though. Like that's not just because we know it's not gonna change it. Like you can know, but
I understand you can know, but I'm saying we are liars because everybody getting their hearts and getting the feeling all bad. And when the time comes, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And I heard this on. I probably shouldn't say. I heard this on another racist radio station that we probably wouldn't listen to, and it was about Gina Six. And I'll never forget this because one of those guys is still in prison. That they said on this radio station, let the Black people get their emotions out, and after they get their emotions out, they'll forget about it, and we can get back to what we were doing. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's too true. Because every time something like this come up, is Twitter, is a few conversations, and it's no action behind it. Like I was telling y'all earlier, and it's not like I just am aware of all of this stuff either. They said these kids been protesting at this school for years about the conditions that they in. For years, and nothing has changed, right? But that's why I go back to it's leadership, bro. We have to have stronger, more dedicated Black leadership to actually see Black, I don't even want to say excellence, Black advancement, bro. It ain't got to be excellent right now because we so far away from excellent. Let's have Black do better.
Yeah.
That's simple. Black average, Black above average.
Yeah, because if you care about those kids, man, I'm sorry. Any real leader, they're not letting that go down. If you care about those kids, that you're not having mildew, if you want to call it that, in these kids' equipment, man. If you even when Kerry and I were coaches, if we saw mildew or something, we would clean the whole locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody cared that much, they're gonna do what they gotta do.
Action. Yes.
So that's leadership, like Nate's saying, though. That's leadership. Our leader wasn't gonna let us not clean that locker room like that. So you're right, Nate. It is leadership. And I think that leadership needs accountability, though. Somebody got to put the fire to your butt. You know what I'm saying? So if ain't nobody gonna check you, then you're gonna keep operating the same way you operate.
And see, that's what's really confusing to me about these situations is one, I'm not vested in Black schools. I didn't go to one. I don't keep up with it that much. So I know a lot of people who ended up going to these schools. I see the comments that y'all be kind of up in arms when people are talking about these situations and maybe you're not really involved. I can respect that. But from the outside looking in, how are these people in power for this long? How is somebody mismanaging for that long that it continues to go bad and nothing improves? And even if you get him out or whoever this person is, him or her, and somebody else comes in and does the same thing, how are we repeating the same cycle over and over again?
Culture. It's culture. It becomes the culture. I think when you create a culture of toxicity, of negativity, of lackadaisical effort, then no matter who you put in that spot, they're going to assimilate to what it's always been like to some degree. They may not go all the way bad like the last guy, but they're going to kind of learn that, hey, the expectations are kind of low here. And I mean, a lot of times it takes a lot, bro, to get people to exceed.
It's easier to do less work. It's easier to do less work. If you say I can be the president of this school and I can just kind of oversee everything, but I don't have to put my hands in everything. I mean, I'm getting paid the same to not oversee everything. I'm not gonna get a bonus to oversee. You know, it's easier to do less work. So
true.
That's right.
But like you said, if they had the right leader, he wouldn't care about the easy part. He would care about these kids and this mold in this situation in these dorm rooms, because these kids don't need to be in this type of situation. So we need the right leader at all HBCUs, and we need some people to help that leader, you know, some real followers to help that leader. So that's how I feel about it.
Straight up. Kendrick made a song about that, talking about really how negative our culture is, man. And that's real. Like, we have to, at some point, want to change the culture. We cannot sit here and continue to go in the same circles, bro. Like, whether that start at home with community leaders, whatever it is, it's so many different layers to it. We got to figure out a way for that, bro. But that's really, everybody has to get behind it. It has to be a true cultural shift of we want better. And so, like we talk about spreading the light, being the light, right? That's really what this is for. Like, if we can motivate y'all to do something, it's to want better, bro. Want and do better.
And I think somebody say something?
I'll say yes, sir. No.
Yeah, facts. I think the personal accountability comes from, you know, like we talking about us in the car. You know, if anybody's wondering what qualifies us to say these things, to talk about these things, I mean, I'm a teacher, I'm an entrepreneur. Jarrell's an entrepreneur, he's a mental health professional. DeMarcus is a deacon in training. He's also out here serving the community in multiple ways, multiple businesses. Nate is a teacher as well. He's also helping people with their health and wellness. I mean, we're people that we live in the lifestyle.
Non-profit organization.
We got multiple things behind us. My bad, brother. I didn't mean to short you. But what I'm saying is, like, we out here doing the work as Black men. So we speaking on behalf of us because we know that it takes models of representation and try to be able to like continue to be virtuous. I think I've been reading a lot on virtues, bro. Like, I think when you live virtuous and you act out of virtue and you keep your focus in the right areas as a Black man, that's a big accomplishment because it's not rewarded to be like that. We're not rewarded to be like that. We're rewarded to go and flash money and talk crazy and go and smack some on the football field, go score a touchdown, shoot a lot of hoops. You know what I'm saying? Live that lavish lifestyle, but that's not virtuous, humble Black man lifestyle is not popular. And those types of leaders end up being a lot more safe in those places where we need them to be, standing up, upright in these positions where at these HBCUs, we got people that's just lazy. I mean, they there, but is it just because they part of the family, they just alumni, or these people that really got, that type of compass, that moral compass that we need in those positions, I don't know.
You are worth more than just a part of the world's entertainment.
There you go.
We really are. We entertain the world, but we gotta race pride is not a bad thing. It's just like when you see these fraternities and sororities, the pride that they have and the way that they move and how they come in numbers and they support and stuff like that. Like, race pride should be the same thing. I'm not saying being prejudiced or racist, but having pride in your race and your culture, there's totally nothing wrong with that. We so caught up in entertainment. All that stuff you just labeled are forms of entertainment, even the lavish lifestyle. Who are you showing your lavish lifestyle to? The people you entertaining. You don't care about it. You're just entertaining them for the moment.
And like you said, DeMarcus, I'm not racist or prejudiced or anything, but it hurts me when I see situations like, the Ed Reeds, or to see these kids with mildew in their helmets and pads and stuff, man. The pride, the Black pride I have is almost like, man, how can we do better? It hurts my feelings. So when you say, we need to do better and it's us, when you speaking to Black people and saying us and we, that don't make you prejudiced or racist or anything. That's how I feel about it when I see stories like this. So
straight up. Because really the difference is you can either be respected or you can be laughed at, bro. I think that's the reality that a lot of us don't accept in the Black community. We are, especially as Black Americans, we are the laughing stock of a nation. And
I don't agree with that.
How you don't?
Because I feel like that discredits what we are doing because we in the middle of a lot of things.
I'm not discrediting the people who are doing good, but as a collective, and this speaks to maybe the negative outlooks that some other cultures have, some other races might have against Black people, but it also comes from somewhere, bro. Stereotypes and, all of that stuff, it might not be the right way to go about life, but a lot of times it comes from somewhere. It do. At the end of the day, there's some truth to it, right? And that's the hard part for us to accept some of the times. People laugh at Black folks, bro. And it's not just the entertainment part of it. It's the look at what they doing, bro. Like, come on. That's the part that when we talk like having, like y'all was saying, with having actual pride in our culture and ourselves, that's what's got to change. I think that's where you actually start looking at it that way. You don't want to go through life being somebody that actually get clowned on, right? You don't want to go through life being somebody that actually gets disrespected for the things that you do. And that's the position that we put ourselves in culturally right now. Yes, there are outliers. There are people who are doing good. But when the entire community starts believing that, hey, we need to do better to be respected, that's where that change really comes into me.
I would say that we definitely could do things better. I think, and I don't mean to be like the guy like, oh, everybody can do better, but I think everybody can do better. I'm just keeping it real. Everybody can do better. And I think that when you talk about us, I think it's just really important that we highlight what's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, highlight who we are and what's beautiful about us, because that's the most impactful thing. That's what's growing us more than anything else as people. Like as what I'm seeing in young men When I come in contact with them, is the fact that they can see things in me that they can highlight within themselves, and they say, "Man, that's where I can go." Because I'm not succumbing to what we've been doing. Like some of the stuff we've been doing, yeah, it ain't all good. It ain't, but we gotta solve it. Go ahead, bro.
No, I'm just saying, I'm agreeing with you. That's it, because I run into so many stories or so many other things that are uplifting. Like point to talk about is Big Boy from Outkast.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't get the exposure, but Big Boy from Outkast, he goes and buys, hundreds of acres, builds houses, and then sells that community for, mostly for Black people. Of course, it's for everybody, but he's trying to get more Black people to be homeowners. And that's not highlighted, that's not put out there, but let him, get a DWI or something, then it'll be all over the place. So I feel you on that, Kerry, because we have so many people that are on the other side of the railroad track. You don't know how many times, just in my lifetime, I've heard, "Oh man, you different," and I'll tell them, "No, I'm not." Y'all going off a stereotype like we ain't all lazy, we ain't all this, we ain't all that. I am not the one that's different. There's a whole bunch of us. It's just that, like Nate was saying, we just have that negative stereotype that so many get highlighted when it is about this. Just like the news, we know the story. When the news come around, they're gonna go find the raggediest looking one to represent everybody, instead of finding somebody that's astute and speaks well. They will go through the crowd and find somebody that just want to be on TV and is gonna be talking stupid.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Not everybody.
Hey, that's so true though, DeMarcus. But you know what the answer to that is though? I see it on social media all the time. All Black people want to talk about is how we are the trendsetters. We set the standard for the culture. We do this and that. But what you're talking about is the white media, right? So if we take it upon ourselves to put that out there and say, no, this is how we're represented. At some point, either it doesn't matter or it changes on the other side. That's it.
That's the hard part about social media is that, and I get it, you want to pass the time, you want to laugh and whatever, but we put so much emphasis on being entertained or entertaining somebody.
Yep.
I mean, this will be on the internet for the rest of our lives and then some. It'll grab certain people, hopefully it grabs the right person and it flourishes. But if we are really clowning and acting fools, then it's a form of entertainment that goes up a little fast. We want to be entertained. We want to be educated as a whole, like Nate's saying. For the majority, we get shown as we don't want to be educated. We don't want to hear that. I want to be entertained. I went to work for 8, 10, 12 hours. I want to be entertained now. And it's like, go educate yourself. That no lie. Just to show y'all that I'm about what I say.
About it.
Why DeMarcus is figuring that out?
No, the young man came for the insurance.
Yeah, Aaron, yeah.
Just to show y'all, he told us about this book.
Yeah,
I'm reading the book. I got it. That's the book right there.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, we gotta put the effort and put the action to actually being better.
Yeah, and that's through the podcast, and that's what we doing though. But like when we on this call, we see it is important to be able to uplift one another and anybody we come into contact with. You know what I'm saying? We've built connections on this call. Every last one of us has built connections where we've networked and met other people that are Black, that are doing great things, and we have built something from that. We've taken something from that. I think that's like not common, like we talking about, Nate, with our culture. It's the crab in the bucket, mine. We want to alienate ourselves. Hey man, I finally got me something. Man, I need to keep this. Like, nah, bro, like we have to just keep ourselves open and keep loving. I feel like we gotta keep operating out of love, keep loving our family, you know what I'm saying? Keep loving our friends, keep loving the youth, helping them out, leading them. Like we gotta stay in that spirit because once we get out of that spirit, bro, we ain't got a chance. Because we started descendants of slaves. We started out descendants of slaves. We don't have a chance. We can't be out here hating. We can't. We don't have. You out of time, bro. We are the average lifespan. What you going 70 some years, 80 some years, maybe, bro. We ain't got time. Like we got to do good. We got to love. We got to be aware. Don't get fooled. Don't be out here getting bamboozled. But you know what I'm saying. We got to work with that spirit and build the culture and love. We got to. We don't have a choice. I don't feel like we can do anything else because we're outmanned and outarmed if we're in that race. If we're in the evil fight we not gonna win that. Yeah. We're not gonna win that. We ain't never won that. Like that's not it. You know, that's how I see it. I feel like that's and when we look at a situation like Bethune-Cookman, I feel like they've now learned in a cause and effect relationship that hey, take pride in what you got, y'all. Like y'all got this HBCU, you got a Hall of Famer that was coming to, come and turn that program around, give y'all the same type of effect potentially, or maybe something at least close to it with Ed Reed, and y'all blew it. Fix it. Get it fixed. Let's go. We gotta do better. Like you said, we gotta do better.
Gotta do better.
Got to be more careful. Got to be more careful. So with that being said, I want to talk a little bit about affirmations, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I know we had talked about that a little bit beforehand, but just, affirming yourself, empowering yourself. I was listening to, I was telling y'all about the 19 Keys Dame Dash podcast where Dame Dash was talking about, people have always called him cocky. I don't know if y'all ever watched his interviews, but I always think about the Breakfast Club interview where he was basically telling people that, the biggest problem people have is that they're not a boss. And he was like basically saying, I'm a boss, I cut my own checks. Like he was talking, talking his issues, they say, you know what I'm saying? And he said those are his forms of affirmations. His speaking power into himself is his way of praying, essentially, because we know DeMarcus, you said something real deep earlier about the words and how they work with sending messages to God. But for me personally, I feel like affirmations are very important in my life because when I wake up, I try my best to say things about myself that I want others to say about me. You know what I'm saying? Or I want to materialize in my life. So like I was telling y'all, when I wake up, I tell myself I'm the best teacher in the world. Like period. Like I'm the most powerful man in the world when I'm under that squat rack. You know what I'm saying? It may not be the most weight, but if I'm getting under that weight, hey, ain't another man that's gonna squat more than me right now. So I know that this right here is not gonna be bigger than my effort, my drive, etc. But I just kind of want to speak to y'all about, just affirmations, the importance of them. Do y'all believe in affirmations? Y'all see prayers as affirmations? What's y'all's thoughts on that?
I think it's about building your reality, speaking truth to your reality, man. Like it's all mindset. We talk about that all the time. So if that's what you're putting in your mind and what you're putting in the atmosphere around you, I think that's the energy that you live in. So I think it's a really good thing.
I think DeMarcus always says every day I wake up, it's a good day. So I'm thinking now that you reminded me, Kerry, every day that I'm headed to work, like when I'm walking down in my car, I say it's gonna be a great Monday, whatever day it's gonna be. And even if it's not the best day in the world, I still had the opportunity to go to work and help people. I still had the opportunity. My car made it there and back. I'm still alive. So I think it's important to speak it, to hear it sometimes. It can brighten up your mood. Even if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, it's like hearing, oh, today's going to be a great day. It's almost put a smile on your face. So I think it's really important.
And you're trying to affirm whatever it is that you want to achieve. I like what Nate said. I don't want anybody to miss that. Realistic affirmations. Put it out there. You can speak it into fruition. Like I said, the Bible says that the tongue is a pen of a ready writer. Means that you write with your tongue what it is you want to see, and with affirmations, like Gerald was saying, they might not come today. They coming. And you give yourself a better chance to achieve them. You put them in your sight line so that you can know which way to go. So when Kerry first brought this up, I was thinking like, affirmations are for other people or something that you offer up to other people. But then once he kept explaining it, I was like, oh, I do this. I actually write down, and I have a couple things that I read to myself every day. Like, I want to be known as God's son. I want to be known as a great father. I want to be known as a great husband. I want to be disciplined and consistent. Like I say this stuff every day. I didn't think about it, Carrie, until you actually said like how you go about it. I was like, oh yeah, I do this every day. And like Gerald said, I ain't gonna lie to you. I literally have that tattooed on me. If I wake up, it's a good day. If I don't wake up, it's still a good day. Like, words of affirmation is where you want to be and where you're trying to get to, and make it realistic and get there. And it kind of blots out all the negative stuff that can happen, because it's like, this is where I want to go. Yeah, this happened, but I'm still trying to get here. Mm-hmm. So I don't get stuck. Yeah, we get stuck. We get still. We have obstacles, but to overcome those obstacles, you still got to reach for your goal. And if you believe that you can get over this wall, and you keep telling yourself, I'm going to get over this wall, you might have to take a break. It might have to wait till tomorrow. But you keep saying that you're going to get over the wall. Because that's your main goal. And the words of affirmation are just to keep pushing you till you get over the wall, and then you can move to the next one. So I really like what you said, Kerry. I didn't even realize I was doing it myself. And when you first said it, I was like, that's what you do for other people.
Yeah.
Well, I heard it explained it. My bad, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying what the Marcus was saying, that the journey sometimes is more important than the destination. That instant gratification stuff. You get to your destination, you don't even know how to move. But that journey you take to that destination teaches you everything you need to know when you get to that destination. So I think positive affirmations basically just kind of keep you going. Like the Marcus said, you're going to climb that wall. If I see that wall every day, I might get halfway up and fall. Next day, I might get 3/4. I might fall. But when I get over that wall, that journey teaches me how to move when I get over the wall. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think, yeah, I heard it explained like the affirmations part of it is just like prayer. Same way as like if you've been making prayers up to God, you let him know what you want from life. But obviously you have to live a life that is, sacrificing yourself and submitting to be able to, do that and be able to truly be at one. But then like, when you at them hard times in life and things aren't going your way, it's very easy to say things out your mouth that are not good. Like, it's easy to complain. So you have to really be mindful of your mumbling and grumblings, because he know your thoughts and he know your words. So when your thoughts start getting sour, you really got to check them in. Like, once you say out your mouth, it's really low key too late, because you already set thoughts up. So you got to like recycle them thoughts. And I think the words, sometimes it kind of helps that filter process, for me anyway, because, you know what I'm saying? We generals, like we are generals of our life. We leaders, you know what I'm saying? Every leader got to go through a war. Like, you a general, you got to go through the war. If you go through the war, you grumbling and mumbling and all that, the army finna be like, yo, we ain't finna do nothing out here. Like, we ain't got it like that. Listen to him. Look at what he talking about. We're not finna do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like we talking about the leadership earlier. It's all leadership. We the head of whatever we the head of. So you got to be speaking power out the head no matter what. Even like Coach used to say, Jay Jones, that duck on water. You sailing, but under the water, you paddling like hell. Your feet going like 1,000,000 miles per hour, but you sailing. You ain't saying nothing crazy. We got this. We good. Hey, y'all, we gonna win this game. We gonna get that check. We gonna close this deal. Hey, I have no worries. We the best business that there is. You know what I'm saying? It's the best podcast in the world. I don't give a damn who thinks else. I don't care. Like, it don't matter. We with that. Yeah, we like that. So I feel like that's what it is. We haven't gotten recognition from the outside world yet, but when they catch all this content, they're gonna say, wow.
We should have been sponsoring them boys. We're open to sponsorships.
We really like that.
Real talk.
We really like that.
Hey, but really though, what you said, Kerry, that's so real. It's something I always think about, and that's why I say it's about creating your reality. When you speak something, you speaking it into existence. I'm gonna tell y'all, Jarrell remember this. We was sophomores in school. I didn't feel like practicing one day. I told Jarrell and Juice, I said, hey, finna fake an asthma attack or I'm pulling a hamstring today. I'm going down. I do not feel like practicing. Sudden change, we run across the field. I get a body thrown on my ankle. I'm out for the rest of the spring, limping across campus for the next 3 months. Because I spoke that into reality, bro. Like, and that's the real thing. It kind of hit me there, but it was something else. I forgot where I even saw this at. But they were talking about how our language is so powerful, right? And they were kind of saying it from the standpoint of even what we call things. When we are writing out words, we call it spelling, right?
Yep.
You know, so you putting spells over yourself if you want to take it to that route, right? So use affirmations for what it really is. Words mean something. Affirm positive things over your life, right? Even like after that, I hear people say, I don't do it all the time. But I hear somebody say something crazy like, "Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm this and that." But hey, don't say that. Like, watch what you're saying, because you just never know. If you speak that kind of stuff into your life, you truly never know.
On both sides.
Yeah, on both sides. So I think that's really the power of affirmations: is speak the reality that you want. Speak power into your life, man. Speak positivity into your life.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. That is definitely real. I remember when I think that was the one thing that changed a lot for me, was just changing my language. It was just you getting that funk, man. Especially when you're around people that have stinking thinking on the reg. Like, you got a lot of people around you. You got to detach yourself away from listening to it, because you start picking up the language. Like, when in Rome, you do what the Romans do. So you start picking up the language. You got to like detach yourself from it. So yeah, I really want everybody to know that's powerful right there. That spelling part that you said too, I heard that before.
Spells on each other.
Dropping spells on each other. We only do that. Not the bad stuff, but man. So I mean, with all that being said, fellas, like, going into everything. I mean, I think right now we in a season where, we got our book coming out soon. The Laws of Light. We talking about the 48 Laws of Light. We've been brainstorming. We've been hashing it out. We've been adding to it, subtracting, etc. Which law of light do y'all feel like the people are really going to be able to benefit from? That you feel like is going to be good for them to grow after reading? You know what I'm saying? And for me, right, I'm gonna go ahead and go into it first. For me, I would say, when talking about some of the stuff we've shared in the Laws of Light, I want people to know, man, is like, you have to dedicate yourself to consistency to the point where you're doing stuff that you don't feel like doing for the greater good, or whatever it is that you stated your purpose. Because we had something that we shared we're talking about consistency in the Laws of Light. And I've been like, man, like, it's so hard for me sometimes to stay focused. I'm a very like squirrel dude. Like, I'll be all over the place. But like, sometimes now as a grown man that's seen life, and I'm seeing some, I'm gonna see a lot more. But what's been something that's helped steady my boat is just being able to just keep swinging the hammer. You know what I'm saying? Like, and whatever I gotta tell myself to do it, I tell myself, and I get to swinging that hammer again. I'm gonna wake up, I put the same type of work in I put in the day before, if not really better, at least 1% better, right? But just swinging that hammer and not quitting, because before you know it, if you get 1% better every day, then at the end of 365 days, you're 365% better. So that's a win. That's a win. And I think that, we have to take that. What you say?
Huh?
You said a couple of days off. That's what you said. That's what you said. But nah, I'm just saying, bro, like, just be consistent, y'all. Like, if you put the goal up like Jay Jones be telling y'all, and you just be consistent and keep swinging the hammer at that goal, bro, like, you'll never know. You never know. You never know what's gonna happen. You had one thing.
It's a pinata. It's gonna break soon. You're gonna get to it soon.
Might have a king size Snicker bar in that bad boy. They might hit somebody in the head. All right, but yeah, what y'all got, man?
I don't think your dog like that.
That dog trip out with the window.
I'll go next. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the one I wrote the most on, the one I work in every day, mental health. I just know how important it is. I actually did not know until I started working in mental health how important mental health is. I used to kind of say people were just acting weak, not gonna lie, but being in it every day, mental health is important. If it's just everybody has anxiety, maybe a little bit of depression, and other things like schizophrenia and everything, bipolar. But I think find ways to cope with the problem. Figure out what the real problem is, because if you can figure out the problem, we can figure out ways to fix it. So my thing is, I'm working in it every day. So I guess my chapter right now I'm trying to focus on is mental health, because I want everybody to be as well as they can, mentally, physically, everything. So
y'all know what mine is.
don't be a bum.
Don't be a bum.
Don't be a bum and don't be a dumb. It's that simple, man. Like, you gotta want better for yourself. Like, it's really that simple to me. I think though, if you can have that kind of mindset of truly don't move through life doing stupid things. I don't mean don't make mistakes, don't take chances that don't work out for you. I mean, don't actually do dumb stuff. Don't do detrimental things that are going to set you back. That's really the best key to success to me, right? It's a process. It's not going to work out day one. But as long as you're stepping in the right direction, you're going to get there at some point. But if you take one step forward and then you sprint backwards 30 yards, like, you ain't going to never get there, bro. And that's sometimes, to me, that's what being dumb actually is, right? It's the difference between ignorance and dumb. Everybody is ignorant to something. I ain't knocking you for that. But when you are consciously stupid, you got to do better.
Older man, he was probably 70 something years old, Nate. I might have been 21, 22. We was in Stephenville, so I'm young. He told me that most of the time people dig holes so deep in their 20s that it takes them to get 40 years old to get out of that hole. So basically what you're saying is, like, this is what you're saying, like, don't dig a 10-foot hole and it takes 10 years to get out of it, man. If you're gonna dig a hole, if you're gonna bump your head, bump your head. We all bumped our heads, but bump your head, try to figure it out, and try to fill that hole a little bit besides digging more. So
dig a 10-foot hole with a 5-foot ladder.
Yeah.
Don't work.
Mine would to not be dark. I'm trying to elaborate on it, to not be dark and use it as a positive. I want people to understand. Mine would be death is final, but not to understand, yes, death is final. I want you to understand death is final, but to put some urgency in your life to go and achieve the things that you want to achieve. Because once whatever dies is done, is over with. It's not coming back. So to regain urgency and not take for granted today, tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, whatever. Yes, plan, but still have some urgency to see it through and enjoy the process as you the journey, the experience of getting there, but see it through. Don't just give up on yourself. Don't give up on life. Don't give up on whatever, because when death comes, it's over. It's done with. Kaput.
And some things are harder to do when you're 80 and 90 years old and you're regretting your 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, so like DeMarcus said, keep that fire under your butt. Don't wait until you're 85 trying to go shoot hoops with the youngest. You know what I'm saying? Go get that exercise right now.
now your back hurt. Now you got the lidocaine patch.
Yeah. So
Real talk. I mean, y'all fellas drop some gems, and speaking to what DeMarcus saying, shoot, you got to do it. When I called Jay Jones up, I was like, I'm trying to do a podcast. He was like, bro, what? I was like, yeah, like, let's do it.
He said today. I said, man, today, I don't even know how did we do it. Like, I don't even know how to do it.
Bro, so, pull out the work Mac, bro. We did it off the work Mac. Then the second episode, DeMarcus hopped on that joint. I was in the garage. That joint.
I was on the floor. I was laying down. Boy, it looks so trash.
I was in the garage. I had the echo going. We were there going. Then we get Nate and Paul on the podcast. Maybe a couple of months later.
Sand Dog.
Man,
we got better and better.
Hey, Rome. Shoot, we got a whole bunch of people, man. countless names, but you know, if you got something in your head, man, y'all gotta do it, and you gotta do it with good people. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I appreciate y'all for being good people because it's hard to work with people you don't trust, you don't rock with, and they don't share your interests, values, morals, and ethics. So, you know, y'all go out here and make the plays y'all need to make. Be a light. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the podcast as always. Make sure y'all show love. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what we talking about. Maybe like, I don't think that's, you know, accurate. We want that because we want you to bring conversation to the party. Come talk.
Because I will debate you.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
And I will call you dumb.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're not gonna make it out saying something crazy and not getting called dumb by Nate. So just go there.
Just don't even try it.
Don't even try. But yeah, so hey, we out.
Snickers,
Go Cowboys.
light a cane, holla at your boys.
Holla.